In the previous episode, Victor was ready to execute Morgan, who had poisoned him, but Grace volunteered to stay and work for Victor in exchange for Morgan's life. Morgan had to embark on the journey back to the submarine alone, vowing to rescue Grace one day. After a while, Morgan thought he heard something and saw 3 figures emerge from the fog. Who were Arnold's men? Morgan was preparing to fight to the end when the sound of hooves approached from behind, and 2 black figures on horseback drew near. The man removed his hood. Morgan breathed a sigh of relief, not expecting Dwight to still be alive. The riders were the dark horses. Morgan was happy they survived and asked if they had joined them, advising them to understand what they were getting into. Dwight admitted he was now with them, but insisted it wasn't what Morgan thought. Dwight then took Morgan to their camp, where numerous tents suggested they all lived there. Morgan, puzzled why Dwight was with them, didn't understand why he was brought here. Dwight revealed their leader wanted to talk to him. Morgan wondered what Arnold wanted with him, and as he spoke, 2 armed individuals approached from the front. Morgan was on guard, and Dwight signaled him to relax.
You mean she?
Just show me where he is.
Then, Morgan arrived at the leader's tent, where a fully clothed figure emerged. Thinking it was Arnold, Morgan declared he didn't want trouble, but when the mask came off, it revealed the beautiful face of Alicia. Long lost to Morgan, the 2 old friends embraced tightly. Both were natural leaders, trusting and admiring each other.
You look like shit, Morgan.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I feel like shit.
Morgan, who had thought Alicia lost, immediately asked if her people attacked the building. Alicia denied it, saying they were no longer her people. Morgan was filled with questions. Alicia changed the subject, expressing her people's exhaustion and lack of resources. Nearly losing hope, Morgan said he couldn't help much as his own group was struggling, but Alicia disagreed, believing in Morgan's ability to help, which is why she had Dwight find him. Before Alicia could explain what she needed Morgan to do, the armed guards became alert. Everyone gathered at the fence. It was just a few attacking zombies. With everyone armed, it didn't seem like a big problem, but Morgan realized it wasn't that simple. He ran forward with a flashlight, discovering these weren't ordinary zombies. They had nuclear fragments and bombs attached. It was critical not to shoot, as an explosion could have unimaginable consequences.
Don't shoot! Don't!
But it was too late. Several zombies exploded, leaving the camp's people dazed by the shockwave. A bloody mist and dust filled the sky. They watched in shock, realizing it contained high levels of radiation.
Everybody run now!
Alicia quickly organized her people to drop everything and flee. Dwight noticed the explosions had attracted nearly 100 zombies. The camp was enveloped in smoke. They kept fleeing until the next day, resting temporarily, fortunate to have no casualties except for a scouting team ahead. Alicia asked if they could return to the camp. Morgan said it was impossible. The exploding zombies had spread too much radiation. Alicia was disheartened. Their food and supplies were there, but it wasn't the time for complaints. Alicia instructed Dwight to bring the counselor. Although Morgan didn't understand their conversation, he suggested Alicia and her people could seek refuge with Victor, given her special status in his eyes. Alicia refused, not wanting to see Victor, and told Morgan she sought him out for a reason, only he could help her. Then she pointed behind Morgan. One of her men brought a zombie to them. Alicia approached it fearlessly, saying Dwight found it a few days ago. Morgan was full of questions, wondering if it was a friend or family member of Alicia's. Dwight said he didn't know, but to find it, they had stripped nearby zombies. Arnold and others who attacked the building didn't want Alicia to find this particular zombie. The situation was becoming increasingly complex. Then Alicia instructed her men to paint the zombie to prevent it from blending in with others, making it hard to recognize later. Morgan couldn't help but start asking Alicia. He didn't understand why she was doing this and what it had to do with him. Alicia sighed, saying she needed his help to find a place called Padre. This wasn't the first time Morgan had heard of this place. Alicia continued, explaining Padre was unaffected by radiation and zombies, and it had plans and resources for rebuilding everything. She didn't know where this place was, but believed this zombie could lead them to Padre. Morgan looked at the zombie, baffled. It seemed unbelievable. Was Alicia brainwashed? Alicia just said he wouldn't understand. No one could, and he had to trust her. At that moment, 2 zombies approached. They were the patrol team, now killed by someone. Everyone became alert. Sherry returned on horseback, reporting that enemies were approaching, a group of cavalry, likely Victor's men. Alicia didn't understand why he would do this. Morgan said they probably mistook them for the group that attacked the building, as their outfits were similar. Alicia realized they needed to find a place to stay quickly. Morgan suggested they could all go to the submarine, which had enough supplies for everyone for a week. Alicia promptly asked Dwight and Sherry to lead everyone to the submarine, while she and Morgan went to search for Padre.
Do you trust me?
Yes, I do.
Morgan was still confused when Alicia cut open a zombie's stomach and smeared its innards on a piece of clothing. She needed Morgan to wear this clothing. Hesitant, Morgan decided to trust Alicia. The purpose of wearing the clothing was to mask their presence from the zombie, enabling them to follow it to Padre. Despite his disbelief that a zombie could know the way, Morgan chose to accompany Alicia. Before the nuclear bomb exploded, Alicia was locked in a bunker.
You locked me in here! I'm not gonna make the world the way you want it to be!
I know. That's what I'm counting on.
She couldn't understand why Teddy chose her as the leader for the new world. Frantically pounding on the door, Alicia initially wanted to uncover Teddy's conspiracy to save everyone but ended up trapped here. She worried about the fate of her friends. Feeling utterly helpless, she dared not imagine how to live underground and who would let her out. After a while, Alicia collected herself and began to observe the bunker. It appeared that this place had long been prepared for radiation isolation. When Alicia walked inside, a shower head above doused her, likely a decontamination facility. The isolation door led to a surprisingly large area, seemingly a secret military base before the apocalypse. There was even an armory. Alicia opened the door, and the lights inside flickered to life. She continued walking all the way to the back, but the weapons here had long been gone, leaving behind an empty space. Suddenly, she heard the sound of a gun being cocked behind her. She wasn't the only one surviving here. Teddy's loyal followers were present too. The man said he caught another person who was alone and then took Alicia to the tree where a zombie was tied up. The original zombie, killed by Wes, was replaced with another. Alicia thought they just wanted her to watch the zombie, but the acolyte attempted to feed her to it, to transform her into a zombie for fertilizing crops. Fortunately, a voice stopped the acolyte. The leader, a man with a braided hairstyle, asked if she was the Alicia mentioned by Teddy. Still frightened, Alicia listened as the man introduced himself as Arnold, saying Teddy had spoken of her as the chosen leader. Arnold then announced to everyone that Alicia was the one they had been waiting for, to lead them to a new beginning.
I'm not leading those psychos anywhere.
But Arnold wasn't upset by Alicia's remark because Teddy had already reminded them not to take it to heart. In a swift move, Alicia pushed the acolyte towards the zombie and drew the acolyte's pistol on Arnold and his men. The acolyte's fate was sealed. Alicia declared Teddy's words as lies and made her way out. Arnold's men moved to follow, but he told them to let her go, confident she couldn't escape anyway. Alicia, having escaped, finds an axe and furiously smashes it against the iron door, but she clearly underestimates the blast-proof door as 1, 2, 3 strikes only produce a few sparks. Alicia instinctively assumed that he was one of Arnold's subordinates. The man swallows hard and says the door can withstand a nuclear blast of 50,000 tons, and it's impossible to escape through this way. Alicia immediately asks how he knows. The man quickly explains that he's been living here since before these thugs found this place, always looking for a way out. Alicia glances at his attire, feels he's not lying, and then lets down her guard. The man introduces himself as Will. Alicia doesn't care who he is, only asks if there's another way out. Will just says maybe, and then leads Alicia away from there. While walking, Alicia asks how long Will has been here. Will tells her everything. Originally, when the zombie virus first broke out, he came here with Senator Vasquez. They were supposed to discuss countermeasures with other senators, but the others never arrived. Alicia can hardly believe that years have passed since the outbreak, and Will has been living here all this time. They then arrive at Will's hiding place. He says we closed the doors and have been waiting for a notification that it's safe to go out. Alicia is curious about where the others are. Will, with a sense of resignation, says they all died. A group of survivors found the entrance to the bunker, claiming they were starving. We shouldn't have let anyone in, but we hadn't seen a living soul in years and didn't want to watch them starve outside our window. So Senator Vasquez opened the door, and then they killed everyone. I was in the ducts repairing the filters at the time, so I heard everything from the crawl space and then hid. Alicia asks again how she can get out. Will just says the timers were set, and they won't open until the time's up. There should be another way out, but I've never gone up there because I'm not ready to face the zombies. Alicia urgently says Teddy, the madman up there, wants to destroy everything. I told Victor, but I'm not sure if I can rely on him. Alicia was about to say more when Arnold's voice calls for her. Will advises her to pretend to accept their ideology, and he will find a way out here. Hearing Will's words, Alicia no longer opposes Arnold and the others. Arnold prepares a room for Alicia and returns her personal weapon to her. A document appears on the table, titled Padre, the Future of Rebuilding the Nation. However, Arnold doesn't mind and just mentions it's the previous tenant's stuff and that he will get rid of it. Clearly, it's the stuff of the senator mentioned by Will. At that moment, Arnold's walkie-talkie buzzes with news of an intruder found in the service area. Likely a remnant of the senator's men. Arnold calmly orders, "Let him return to dust." Alicia knows their return to dust means transforming into zombies and then being used as fertilizer. Alicia thinks of something. Could it be Will who's been caught? Sure enough, Will is being pushed towards the zombies by the others. Just as Will is about to be bitten, Alicia arrives in time to prevent the tragedy. She tells Arnold, "Teddy was right. I will lead you to a new beginning. This starts now. No more letting people return to dust." And then she orders Will to be released. Seeing the others indifferent, Arnold says to do as Alicia says, and they release Will. Then, Alicia scolds them to leave. Will, still shaken, thanks Alicia. Alicia simply states she wants to get out quickly. Will, pointing at a zombie, asks if they have memories. Alicia is surprised by such a naive question, but realizes it might be Will's first encounter with zombies. Will, with sadness, reveals the zombie is Senator Vasquez. Alicia sympathetically says, "They're just walking dead with no memories." Alicia brings up the document marked Padre found in the room. Will explains they were supposed to go to Padre after leaving the bunker, as the senator said it had everything needed for rebuilding, but its location was a secret, known only to Vasquez and his family. He had messaged his family to go there first, but whether they arrived is unknown. Alicia asks if they could find the place once outside. Will says he won't leave. He doesn't know how to face the apocalypse. Seeing the crumbling Will, Alicia takes out her necklace, claiming it can protect the wearer. It was a gift from Victor. They come up with a plan looking at the senator. Will takes Alicia to the drainage area. He thinks the water must drain somewhere outside and following the pipes might lead them out. He also brings Vasquez. Will believes zombies might have memories and could instinctively find Padre. Without hesitation, Alicia pushes the senator over. She asks Will to hold the zombie while she stabs its abdomen. She plans to cover themselves in zombie blood so Vasquez won't focus on them. Alicia warns not to get the blood in the eyes or mouth, or they'll get infected and die. Will, witnessing such a gruesome act for the first time, apologizes to Vasquez before smearing the blood on himself. Alicia is deeply moved. Will reminds her that these zombies were once living people, and maybe Vasquez can indeed lead them to Padre.